Welcome to Understand the Math. In this video, I'm going to teach you all about slant asymptotes. A slant or an oblique asymptote occurs when the degree of the numerator is exactly one more than the degree of the denominator. Let's look down here at our chart. When we have a slant or an oblique asymptote, n is equal to n plus 1. That just means the degree of the numerator is one more than the degree of the denominator. And then our slant asymptote is given by y is equal to some constant c times x plus d. For any rational function, there can be 0 or 1 slant asymptote. You can't have two. When you're working with a rational function and you want to find its slant or oblique asymptote, what you have to do is perform polynomial long division or synthetic division. I know this is a hard topic, and I have a video on this if you need to review that. When you divide two polynomials, such as n of x divided by d of x, and you do polynomial long division, what you end up with is q of x, which is your quotient, plus a remainder divided by d of x. The quotient is your slant asymptote. It is equal to cx plus d. Let's look at an example and see how this works. In this example, we are going to find the slant asymptote, if any, of this function. Let's start by determining if we have a slant asymptote. And to do that, we are going to look at the degree of the numerator and the denominator. The degree of the numerator is equal to 2, and the degree of the denominator is equal to 1. So we have n is equal to m plus 1, and we have a slant asymptote. To find the slant asymptote, I am going to start by doing long division, and then I'm also going to do synthetic division just so that you can see how to do it both ways. Let's start with long division. What we do is we take our denominator, x minus 2, and we divide it in to our numerator, x squared minus 3x minus 4. We're going to look at our first term, x, and we're going to see what we need to multiply it by to get x squared. Another way to think about this is just take x squared and divide it by x, and you get x. And then we're going to multiply. We're going to multiply our yellow x times x, and we get x squared. And then we're going to multiply minus 2 times our x, and we get a minus 2x. Then what we're going to do is we're going to subtract. So our signs change. This becomes negative, this becomes positive, and we end up with minus 3x plus 2x, which is a minus x, and then this comes down, minus 4. Now we're going to do it again. We have to see what we have to multiply this x by to get minus x. And that's going to be negative 1. So we put a minus 1 up here. So x times negative 1 is minus x. And then we multiply minus 2 times minus 1. And we get 2. So we plus 2. Now we're going to subtract it. So our signs are going to change. This is going to be a positive. That's going to be a negative. And we end up with minus 6. Before we go on, I want to show you how to do this using synthetic division because honestly, I think that's easier. To do synthetic division, you start by making a corner, and then what you're going to do is you're going to look up at your denominator and you're going to put the number that's in your denominator here, but we're going to change the sign. So we're not going to put a negative 2, we're going to put a 2. And then we're going to look at our numerator right here, and we're going to write down the constants that multiply the x's. So we have a 1, a minus 3, and a minus 4. Then we draw a line. Our 1 comes down. Now we multiply. We're going to multiply 2 times 1, and we get 2. And then we're going to add, and we get negative 1. Minus 3 plus 2 is negative 1. Then we're going to multiply 2 times negative 1, and we get minus 2. And we're going to add those, and we get minus 6. And this part here is our x minus 1. We can say that f of x is equal to x minus 1 minus 6 divided by x minus 2. you really don't have to worry about the remainder part because we're just looking for the slant asymptote. Our slant asymptote comes from the x minus 1. Our slant asymptote then is going to be y is equal to x minus 1. Let's look at the graph of this function to make sure we understand this. On the lower left, we have the graph, and you can see that it does have a slant asymptote, and it's this line right here, and that line is y is equal to x minus 1. And that's it.
If this video has been helpful to you, please consider subscribing to my channel. Keep believing in yourself and have a great rest of your day.